What's something we can get started with that we can tap into? I know something that you brought up, Yuri, was how if you've been single for a while, or you've been dating somebody,
right?
What are some signs, or what was that somewhere along the lines that you were talking about?
How do you know that the next step is appropriate? So as a single person, it's like when do you mentally know when you're prepared to be like, you know what, I'm prepared to start dating. Like, I really truly want to dive into it. Not necessarily like multiple people, but just like really truly opening yourself up for it. Whether because you just ended off a serious relationship and you want to wait X amount of time, or you've just been through a lot of shit and you just want to just step away from everything.
Say no damn 4-minute topic.
It's not, which is why I don't know why he brought it up.
It's something to get started with. It's something. My bad, man.
It's something to get started with. Yeah. And also, I guess another one is, when do you know once you're dating with someone, and I want to ask the men, how do you know when it's like, she can be my wife? I want to marry her.
Woo!
I know, that's a whole nother, like, or when you're talking, like, when is the, like,
where she can be my girlfriend
when
or my
can she, like, okay, this can really truly be exclusive.
Shit.
Because let me tell you, I've been in some damn situationships.
I do not want to be in this.
Men don't know what the hell they want.
Because I don't.
Are different situationships.
Because I don't want to cut this segment short.
Right.
We're actually gonna take a break.
Yeah, let's do that.
When we come back, we're gonna dive right into this shit.
Okay.
So we'll be right back.
Okay, bye. Oh, we're great, Zach. Copy that. Copy that. Welcome back to the Gentlemen's Club Pod.
Plus a lady today.
Plus a lady.
Plus a lady today.
Plus the lady today. We can say that. That works better. I was trying to think of something to make that sound better, but that
Gentleman
works.
Plus a lady.
The gentleman and a lady.
Okay. Before we took a little break, we were talking about how do you know when you're ready to take that next step with somebody? That's kind of what we were tapping into?
Yeah, that or just next step with yourself also.
Okay.
Yeah, truly knowing what that next step is for you.
Man, I'm gonna go ahead, Josh, because you said you had some shit for that. You're right.
So for me, I think I had gotten to a point in my life where I loved the hell out of myself. Like, I just had so much love in my heart that I knew that if I brought somebody into a situation and a relationship with me, that I would be able to, in a healthy manner, hold and have a productive relationship with somebody. So for me, it was just a lot of I internally had boxes that I wanted to check, and I had to be in a position that I felt like, I'm everything for myself. Now I can bring that to the table and meet somebody that is 100% everything for themselves. Because I don't agree with the statement that your better half or your other half. I think you should be whole, and the person that you're with should also be whole. And I think that, when you step into a relationship like that, then, you can kind of have more success and kind of power through, a relationship, any adversity, whatever comes up.
That's the healthiest answer I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. but hold on. But that comes from someone who has been single for a while.
4 years.
That has truly self-reflected on a lot of things.
Absolutely. A lot of growth.
Yeah, a lot. And it takes some time. I mean, personally, I've been single for, it's about to be 5 years.
Holy shit.
And it's been a while.
I respect
it.
So it's like you do so much self-reflecting. And, being single for 5 years does not mean you were truly single. It's you've experienced things.
Yeah,
you've
right. I've dated, gone through some stuff while being single.
Through some stuff.
Right.
But you truly mentally prepare yourself for what it is that you truly want, and what your idea of a real, true, good relationship is going to be like.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I agree.
How do you guys feel about when it comes to the feeling of, like, I'm sure, okay, if you guys have been single for this long, how did you handle those situations where you thought this might be it? Give me the might be it's and what happened in that. What situationships turned out? What happened with that? Come on, I'm curious to hear how you guys might have handled those situations. This is great. You're sitting out, Zach, because you don't have to participate in any of this bullshit.
I love this, honestly.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda been.
Look, I have messed up.
Okay.
I have not known what I've wanted. and
wow.
vice versa.
Hold on. Let's rewind that one more time. Please
Did a
say
woman
that
just
again.
admit that?
Yeah, please
Is
say that
what it
again.
is?
Please say that again.
I have not known what I wanted.
That's
Accountability is incredibly important.
I appreciate that.
And this whole thing, accountability, is probably the number one thing that people don't understand.
Yep.
And it is. Did I realize it? I mean, at the time, I was being a bitch.
Okay.
I was. I think the situation is, I was not fully at fault, at all whatsoever. But, I mean, when you look at the big picture of it, I was the bad person in this situation, you know?
Okay.
But when we look at the big picture, it's also a lot of men in their younger 20s don't know what they want.
1,000%.
Yeah, absolutely.
At all.
1,000%.
And I think that's also why I've been okay with being single in my early 20s, because it's like, I don't want to deal with that.
Right.
Yeah.
That makes
I
sense.
don't.
That makes sense.
I want y'all to just do what you gotta do.
Right.
Yeah.
Until
I think
you're
that's
ready for someone.
that's
honestly like
extremely
me.
that's extremely important.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't wanna deal with
fair.
it.
Yeah.
And from my seat, I would say that I was the guy that wasn't ready for a long time.
Facts.
I was the
I'm
guy
still
that,
not.
and it's okay. And I think that
You're the oldest one from all of us. Shit.
I'm still not ready. Still not.
I think that when you understand that and you can convey that to whomever you're talking to, then you give the woman that opportunity to decide what she wants to do.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
But I will say that I've not always done that. I'm not perfect. You
What
know,
a-
I was understanding, learning, growing as a man myself.
So what about when you're not ready, but the person that you're
Thank you.
involved with for the moment is and really wants you to be ready?
You got to dead them. The only way, because they're going to be so invested in you and you're not invested in them. And as long as you carry them around and you string them along, they will be there. And I think that
And it's,
Yeah.
it's emotionally damaging to
it's
that
emotionally damaging to her. You know, you leave her at ground zero.
Okay.
As a
Did
man.
that for a long
person.
time.
Again, I will always say these situations can be flipped real easy. I've seen all of it.
Oh,
Absolutely.
1,000%.
Absolutely. And, you know, I think a lot of it is just being conscious of what you want and do not want. But I will ask, you know, gentlemen and the lady today, what, so if a guy tells you, listen, I don't want a relationship with you, why do some women still sit there in that spot, in that position?
Thank you.
And I feel like they're almost, I don't want to say they almost hurt themselves, but they do. Like, y'all are, when
We
y'all
bring it
like,
upon
when y'all like
ourselves.
somebody, y'all there, glue. Y'all don't want to see anything else. Y'all don't want to hear anything else, no matter what we may be expressing to you. So I want a woman's perspective on, I guess, that.
Yeah. Because we're comfortable.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like a lot of women prefer not having to put themselves out there again. And it's like, even if you know, although like you've made it clear, now we know. And it's like, okay, and you try not to get emotionally invested again, whether if it ends up happening or not, whatever. But it's like, we get comfortable.
Yeah.
And I mean, me personally, it's like you end up caring so much for this person and even though you know, it's like maybe I'm not going to fall in love with them, but it's like you still have some type of love towards them.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like I don't know. I don't really have that good of an answer because I have been in that situation.
I got a question. What do you feel like it's the man's job to do if he is the one who feels like he doesn't want to take it to that next level?
I think the issue is that men are so afraid to talk to us about it as soon as they realize it. And they
Okay.
drag us along for a lot longer than should have been originally necessary.
That's absolutely true.
I'm extremely guilty of
Absolutely
that.
I know a lot of
I
men are
think-
guilty about that.
I think it's safe to say all three men on this podcast have done it at least once.
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm still traumatized now, but
Habitual offender.
yeah, but check this out. But I feel like there's a backstory behind that because as much as men don't want to admit it, a lot of men have been emotionally abused.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
that's not really something that you could come out and that you do come out and talk about.
I will say that's why I took 4 years, because I had back-to-back relationships where physical and mental abuse happened for me.
So it's like, why get involved with that again? So
She hurt you?
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
That sucks, man.
Pulled a knife on me, all that.
Oh damn, she
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I wasn't even doing nothing.
Oh damn, it be like that.
If I was doing something, I could see the knife, but
But how?
damn, you gonna kill me?
But when a guy goes through that,
Yeah.
he is trying to figure out genuinely how he feels and make sure it's not trauma that's causing that panic. So you are really trying to gauge a few things, and I'm not saying that they're totally blameless in that, but even so, when a man is like, hey, I feel differently about this, I'm not sure that this is something that I want to do, but if a woman really wants what she really wants, then what are we supposed to do in that situation? What would you recommend?
Look, I think my mom always told me, and is it a good thing to say? Probably not, but there's this thing about it's always important for a woman to fall in love with a man that loves her more. I don't know if you guys have heard about that. Why? Because women, I think, always need a more of a constant reassurance. Naturally, women typically need more of a reassurance about it.
Okay.
I feel like as women, we tend to fall in love with men over time through different actions that they do. It's not something as instant as how a man you typically falls in love with a woman.
Okay. Okay.
You know, the woman, it truly is like different things that you do. It's over a series of times, over a series of moments of events that you fall for someone. So although she may be like super like, yeah, this is gonna be the guy, also keep in mind women are just naturally more emotional. That's how we
1000%.
are.
Right.
Like it's natural, it's okay, and I know you guys know this. And I think we have to truly go back to that era where men need to be that man and kind of direct that relationship. And I feel like that's always something that I look for. It's like I am always afraid to say exactly how I feel, or I won't mentally and emotionally get myself into a situation unless I know a man says something or like truly does something for me to know that he's leading it into a direction.
He's taking that step forward into the space like, hey, this is where I'm trying to go with it. Are you with it or not?
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Why? Because I have been hurt. Like,
Right.
I'm not going to be putting and exposing myself in that situation anymore.
That's fair.
And it's like, you got to lead.
Yeah.
But I feel like so many men don't want to lead that anymore.
A lot of men don't know how to lead.
That's a big
Which
thing.
is-
That's a big thing.
And that can be attested to lack of father figures.
Yep. Or just not being ready in the first place.
Yeah. Not being ready and not being willing to admit that they're not ready.
Right.
Ready. Yeah.
And it all goes back to making sure we're doing self-reflections, admitting our own wrongs, admitting that that we are truly having that good conversation with ourselves and taking time to reflect, and that it goes back to how do you know when you're ready to step into something, and making sure you're mentally prepared for whatever.